light is a good idea also. Should be white light, not yellow. Right? If the light is yellow, that's the wrong kind. White, see? White light. White light. It should be strong enough for you to help see. If not, you can use the window, sunlight, or a lamp if you have a good one. And a laryngeal spoon for examination. Now, if the child, the best way to see the throat is to have the child stick out the tongue and really say ah. Ah helps. It helps elevate the uvula, clearing the throat. And it also depresses the tongue when he says ah. If he doesn't say ah, you really can't see as much as you will if he does say it. Now, usually if a child is old enough, he can stick out the tongue fairly well and say ah fairly well, and you don't really need this. Unless you're looking deep down, and then you will still need to use this. Okay? So let's try this. Stick out your tongue. Ah, like that. And you can examine the oral cavity. Okay? Put the flashlight in, look at the tonsils, right? The tonsils should be mostly covered by the vein palatini, right? The vein palatini. They should be covered. So if they're sticking out, they should only stick out a little bit. If they're sticking out a lot, then they're probably either it's vegetation, overgrowth of the tonsils, or maybe they're inflamed, if they're red. Now, normally the throat is kind of pinkish, whitish, reddish color, okay? So pink. If it becomes inflamed, it becomes really red, right? Really red, like meat red that you see sold, right? That kind of red, ripe. We call it ripe. Becomes very red. If it's just a little bit red, then it may be inflamed, may not be inflamed. It's really hard to say if the redness isn't significant, okay? Now, also what we're looking for besides the actual color is any kind of film covering it. Not necessarily. Any kind of film. Now, the film can be all around, or it can be in spots, or in clusters. The film can be localized either on the tonsils themselves, only on the tonsils. Could be spots on the tonsils, this big, this big, this big. Or the spots can move from the tonsils to the vein palatini, to the palatinium, to the tongue, to the root of the tongue, to the cheeks, to the back of the throat, anywhere. Or it could be covering in a film. Everything is covered in this film, right? The throat itself. Also, you can see white film that covers, for instance, lips, tongue, under the tongue, the hard palatini. In which case, this may all be different kinds of diseases. For instance, if the white film covers everything, including the lips, this is most likely candidosis. Mouth thrush, it's called. Mouth thrush. Candidosis. So you can take your instrument and move it along the lips or the tongue and see if you can get it. If it's clustered over here, this may be thrush or candidosis. But what you should ask is, did the child eat recently? Did he eat white cheese, soft cheese? Did he drink milk? Right? Since as a baby he drank mother's milk. Did she just feed him? Right? So you got to distinguish between, is this on the tongue because the child just ate, or is this really inside the mouth because this is candidosis? Right? If it's candidosis, then once you get rid of it, it should kind of look inflamed, at least a little bit. If you can't get rid of it, then it's fibrin. If it's fibrin, then it's attached to the tongue.